Alright, so let's talk NAWCQ. Now, this event was very diverse. We are going to get right into it because a lot of stuff happened, a lot of different decks did well, and the representation is really interesting. We're gonna look at all the charts. So please let me know if you like this video by liking it, and also make sure to be subbed and also notified so you always know when I post, and share your thoughts in the comments. I would love to know of your experiences, if you went to the WCQ, how it was. If the event went well for you, then I'm very glad for you. And yeah, let's go ahead and start with the top 64 breakdown. Like I said, now that you see it on the screen, it is very diverse, and I think it's a good thing because there's still a fairly decent amount of the top decks, so you really know how to prepare for it. I feel like, and not to go off on a tangent, I'll be very quick, but I think that this format is most definitely much better than the last one, and also overall seems like kind of a nice format. There are decks that you need to prepare for, which you know, and there's still diversity and people can do well with all of these decks up here. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. First, we need to talk about the immense representation of Kashtira, which, you know, just sort of spoiling it a bit. Kashtira in top 8 took 6 slots, top 4 took 4 slots, so eventually it also won the event. So yeah, I guess we can address it right now since we're staring at the pie chart anyway. Kashtira winning was expected, and I do think that at this point people are gonna start to notice, in case they haven't already, that the unicorn hit was just for the time being. The deck is still practically at full power because, yeah, it struggles with bricking. We all know this by now, and it is insanely annoying, but the numbers are still here and they go to show that the deck is still very much on the top. Some people are gonna hate the fact that it won, but it was to be expected, and maybe it's only fair because it didn't win Euros, so I guess that's a nice way to look at it. And yeah, I guess moving on to the other contender, it's most definitely Sprite. Anything Runic Sprite, whether it be Live Twin or the For Hire version, which those two are the most dominant ones right now. Again, it's just the numbers speak for themselves. You know, Sprite is really nice with those cards, has nice matchups across the board. There's a couple things that it's not that great against, but for the most part, it's a very decent choice right now. And there's the Runic cards are just stupid. They're also probably getting hit. And then moving on to Branded, it's very nice to see Branded be of quite a high representation compared to like the other top decks. Is this third one, which isn't bad at all. Branded is just this, it's always in a weird spot, I feel like, and I've talked about it a bunch on the channel already. So yeah, pretty much it's just nice to see. I think the deck is really good, and also has some issues with itself, but you know, which deck doesn't? Pearly just having a very decent showing. If you saw it on stream, it's just continuously doing well. It goes second with such ease, and yeah, I think the deck is really something to look out for, especially post the support. So yeah, better like snatch up your cores right now when they're at a decent price, and they're just gonna go up very soon probably. And then also Rika having a 6% representation, and then Dragon Link as well. So both of these decks have had a very nice showing at Euros already, so people did decide to play it, maybe get some inspiration from Euros as well, and it's just very nice seeing these decks do well. Overall, like I said, I think it's quite a healthy meta, and all of the decks at the top are very interesting. And then the other ones, Manadium, Vanquish Soul, Gold Pride, Labyrinth, and then a couple other ones as well. So these ones, as we've seen, are some of the like top of tier 2 probably contenders. But what surprises me is, you know, like what stands out is Labyrinth. It's interesting to me that it was quite low, just at 3% representation. We did see it on stream, and it just seems that some of these decks up here sort of like pushed Labyrinth off its like spot amongst the best ones, I guess. But when you look at top 32, all of the ones that were of high representation on the last pie chart also made it. You know, we have Pearly, Branded, Sprite, and Kashtira, Dragon Link as well, and Rika, and then Labyrinth is at 6% representation. So among the other ones that weren't as represented, Labyrinth is still very much holding its own, and again, just the diversity speaks for itself. But then we come to top 8, like I spoiled it already, only 1 Dragon Link, 1 Pearly, and then 6 Kashtiras. And probably people were rooting for Pearly and also Dragon Link, but it just wasn't meant to be, I guess. But like I said, both of these decks, you know, props go to them and to the players as well. very, very nice showing, and I've said pretty much what I wanted to say about Kashtira. So with that, we're going to talk about some of the notable wins on stream and also some other achievements of people from this weekend, of course. We saw Sky Striker win on stream, also Gold Pride Punk, which people also topped with it. Shadow Tier Lemons made it all the way to top 64. And I also have a deck on the screen in case you want to look at it. I've mentioned Pearly already, making it very far, and it just had such a nice representation of what the deck is able to do. And then Sprite with a Gishki engine actually made it to top 64, which is very interesting to me, because Gishki cards just to me personally seemed very awkward in the deck, so it's cool to see it do well. We also 100% need to mention the hero win on stream, which was just so wholesome to see, and I enjoyed it so much, and I think the people did as well. And then also another very notable win was when the player won with 200 life points left with Psychic and Punisher in Tiny Sword, so swinging for game with only one punch, which was just, it was so cool to see everybody react and cheer and be just so hyped. And then we have Exo Sister, which just dominated the remote duel YCS and the playoffs as well. So right now I'm just talking about the playoffs because one of the players that managed to make it 2 Worlds with the playoffs is playing Exo Sister, so, or was at the event, which just goes to show that sometimes a very interesting rogue-ish deck can make it if you have very nice tech choices for the meta. For example, Gozen Match was really an important part of the strategy, and I'm not saying it's why they won, but they made a very good meta call, and also with the deck which banishes and does all that it does, and yeah, you know, deservingly, they made it all the way to Worlds, and another player also qualified for Worlds with a Kashtira deck. And then we also had Dragon Duels, where the finals were between Branded and Methmec, and Branded ended up winning. So Methmec with only 1 circular. And then to round things off, we had the Ultimate Time Wizard Tournament, aka Edison Tournament, we would probably call it, where Vayu Turbo won, and it was up against Diva Hero in the finals. So I think that's really cool. I love both decks, and I'm totally like just hyped to see both of them get to the finals. So yeah, the event had like 300 people or something, almost 300. So yeah, like hopefully maybe we see an Edison YCS in the future, which would be kind of insane. But yeah, like it was a very enjoyable event to watch. Like I'm still looking down at my notes, like I didn't even hate the Flunder matches from stream. I didn't. Like they were up against Striker and other things, and it wasn't horrible to watch, even if it was Flunder. And the other decks were, of course, interesting by themselves. There is a lot of Kashtira, it's just something we're gonna have to deal with. But other than that, I think the event was, yeah, just very enjoyable. So please let me know what your thoughts were. Like I said before, share all your stories if you want in the comments. If you liked the video, make sure to like it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.